Well, hello IDS 105 students and welcome to week 3 here in your IDS 105 class. Just a quick homework help focus video to walk you through everything that's due for Module 3, Week 3, and where to find it. As a reminder, click on Course Menu, go to Learning Modules, and then you want to go down to Module 3. Y'all, do not forget to click on your actual module introduction. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. Gives you an overview of what you're doing the whole week here this week for week 3. Always make sure you are also taking the time to review the reading that is within your module because it will really help you answer the questions on your assignments, in addition to any of the required resources that you might have here for this week too. Remember, required resources gives you any chapters or chapter that you might be reading for the week. Also always usually has some good like articles or videos to really help you understand the concepts that you're covering. Okay, so here in week 3, you have a discussion assignment. So as a reminder, y'all, discussion points matter. I am telling you, do not sleep on getting your initial discussion post submitted and at least 2 responses to classmates, because every term I'll have a student where it comes down to if they just would have done the discussion or the discussions, they might have had a better grade. So that is my top tip for y'all, is remember, discussion points matter. This week's discussion centers on the topic of cultural fluency. You're going to learn a lot about that within the module reading and with your required resources this week. This week, you are answering the following 2 questions, but remember, there's a couple pieces and parts for both of them. One is, what are some ways that your knowledge of cultural fluency can benefit your self-awareness? And the second question is, what kind of situations could you use your knowledge of cultural fluency or self-awareness in? So maybe, like, for example, maybe you work with a company that has different cultures and all across different time zones. Like, how does that matter? Why is it important to be aware of that? Like, that's just an example, but you can draw upon personal and professional experiences that you might have, okay? So just a reminder, initial discussion post is always due by Thursday or before as convenient for your schedule, and respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before as convenient for your schedule, okay? So discussion assignment due for week 3, and then you also have another project draft. So remember, click on Guidelines and Rubric, and it pulls up an overview of the assignment. What I want to remind you of is you are using the same scenario that you picked back in week 2. So as a reminder, you can find the project scenarios by clicking the blue, click on project scenarios. It'll open up a document that looks like this in case you need a refresher. Whatever scenario you picked, whether it was school, personal, or workplace, or if you created your own, you're using the same one for this week too, okay? Now, as a reminder for this Module 3, Week 3, you are only answering the questions that are underneath Project Part 2. You can open up that same template you submitted last week, and now you're just answering the next section. If you want to start fresh and use a new template, that's fine too. You can always find it by clicking on Project Template. But I wanted to tell you too, last week in Module 2, you answered these questions, Part 1. This week for Module 3, you are answering these questions right here under Part 2. Okay, so you only have a couple of questions to answer. Remember, utilize the scenario you picked and then draw upon any professional or personal experience you might have with the topic. It is always so helpful for you to utilize, or for you to provide details, use examples, just to make sure that you get your point across, okay? So just a reminder here, course menu, learning modules, go to Module 3. You have that discussion assignment this week, initial post due Thursday, peer responses by Sunday or before, and then you have that journal assignment due by Sunday or before as convenient for your schedule. If you're stuck, you're not sure on something, remember you have so many resources at your fingertips. You can directly click on academic support, pull up their menu of services. A lot of students love to use that written feedback tool. You can also always reach out to your SNHU instructor or your advisor if you're stuck or you need anything. Y'all have a wonderful week 3, and remember, you got this.